Welcome to another episode of the Godless Antitheist. Jesus spoke in parables. Of course he did. This is the typical Pharisee Christian out. If you read the Bible, unlike most Pharisee Christians, and you read the Bible front to back over and over, and you learn things, and you call out the ridiculous, superstitious behavior in the Bible. Christians, when you use Jesus to point out how ridiculous things are, fall back on the claim that Jesus was talking in parables, and only someone who has a personal relationship with Jesus can tell what was a parable and what was to be taken literally. Isn't that convenient? So there's no way, they claim, that an anti-theist can know the reality of the Bible, what is true, what isn't true, what is literal, and what is a parable. Only those superior to everyone else knows. So basically, they can claim anything they want to claim. It's very easy for them to do so, because part of their claim is that only they know. And when you talk to them, they will tell you whether this is a parable or to be taken literally. Now, if you ask every heterosexual Pharisee Christian, why, of course, we are to take literally the Bible's claim that homosexuality is an abomination to God. Because they know they're never going to engage in homosexual activity, so they can gladly and easily condemn it, because they know they're never going to cross that line. However, when you point out that the Bible claims that not only is homosexuality a abomination, but so is wearing blended clothing. Oh, then we get into it, don't we? Because, you see, the heterosexual Pharisee Christian wears blended clothing. They're wearing polyester. They're not wearing pure wool or pure cotton or pure ox leather. No, they're wearing blended clothing. And the fact that it's banned by their Bible, by their God, well, that's just a metaphor. That's not to be taken literally. Of course, that's because they're wearing blended clothing and they don't want to stop. How about women wearing pants? It is outlawed in the Bible. It is condemned. It is an abomination. They say, well, I'm not wearing men's clothing. I'm wearing ladies' jeans. I don't care what they call it. Pants are considered men's clothing, and you can call it women's clothing all you want. It's a false label. And the Bible condemns women who wear men's clothing. You are forbidden to do so. Of course, these are just a few of the things that the Pharisee Christians do. Because, quite honestly, quite frankly, they're living the atheist, non-believer, anti-theist lifestyle while claiming to be Christians. That's why they're Pharisee Christians. And we need, as the non-believers, we need to take this to the government and say the church and the Christians who are not taking their rebellious son to the town square and stoning them to death for being rebellious need to lose their tax deduction. Now, of course, we have secular laws because we secular people have a higher moral standard than these Christians and these Pharisee Christians. And we don't allow for people to kill their rebellious sons by stoning or any other method. We have a higher moral standard. So it's win-win for us because either they stone their children to death for rebellion and lose and adhere to their religion, and we put them on trial for murder, and we convict them for murder, because we've heard a couple of news stories about women who drowned their children because they heard God's voice tell them to, or in one case, a woman drowned their children because she thought that if they lived, they would become older and sin and go to hell. So she drowned them in a bathtub so they would not have the opportunity to grow up and sin. She thought they were pure at the age where she drowned them in the bathtub. We hauled her ass to court. We found her guilty of murder because we have, in secular society, a higher moral standard than a Christian and Christianity. We just have that higher moral standard. It's just that simple. So, if they adhere to their barbaric, stupid, angry, hatred, and killing, then we should take their tax deduction away because they're not practicing the Christian religion as they claim. And if they do practice their Christian religion, our secular society has laws against most of that criminal behavior. You can't kill a rebellious son. You can't go to war and kill everyone in the village and save the virgins for yourself. This is the recommended format of war that Jehovah commands. Make war with your neighbors. Kill all the neighbors that you're at war with. All the men, women, children, babies, pregnant women. But keep the young virgins for yourself so you may have them. You see, in a barbaric, superstitious society, you take over the village, you kill all the adults, all the pregnant women, all the women, all the men, all the children, and you keep the virgins for yourself. And this is because the Bible says if you let them live, they will try to influence you and try to turn you away from Jehovah, and may try to and you might be turned away to another god. And you keep the virgins so you may have your way with them, because if you impregnate these virgins are your property, and the children that result from that birth, that rape of these virgins, are your children, and you will teach them the way of Christianity. This is how barbaric we are in the 21st century. This is the barbaric superstition that many of us hang on to. So sad. It's pitiful and barbaric. It's just that simple.